Hi everybody, you join me on the floor, Random Records No.4. I've taken a few out so it's easier again. I've got one hand, I'm leaning against a pile of records here. Let me see if I can just move that slightly. There you go. Let's just do it. There we go, Dance of the Lemmings. Classic LP by Alan, of course. Absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, so phenomenal you own it twice. Sometimes you just find this stuff, and one of those was a charity shop. I think they might both have been. One is in better nick than the other. Rolling Stones, Through the Past Darkly 2. The stereo. It'd be interesting and nice to see a mono. I've never seen a mono one. But worth it just for those fantastic tracks, 2000 Light Years from Home, etc. Which, I have on the album anyway. That's mono, that's stereo. Zuma, perhaps always was one of my favourites of his. I don't listen to Neil Young very often, I must say. Don't Cry No Tears, Danger Bird, Pardon My Heart, Looking for a Love, Barstool Blues. I mean, let's face it, Cortez the Killer slightly doesn't really do much for me in a way. Although I love the guitar on it. It's too long. But I love the sort of simpler songs on here. Although Through My Sails, for me, mars the record entirely. Because it's not Neil Young, it's Crosby, Stills and Nash. It's just not the same at all. Nuggets, Original Artifacts, the first psychedelic era. This is for a reissue, or a repress. But of course, just absolutely, life-changing music if you've never heard any of that stuff. It certainly changed my life. Metal, I mean, that's one of the best inner sleeves of all time, isn't it? I'm faffing about it. Soft Machine, Volume 1, the original wheel which turns. Lots of wear down the side, but the record is in fantastic condition. They were selling it for £5 in the record shop. So, yes please, just because the cover had wear. The wheel turns. Vertigo Swirl, Ian Matthews, If You Saw Through My Eyes. It's one of those that doesn't really sit on the Vertigo label in some ways. Because it's almost too, it's just not progressive at all, obviously. It's quite a lightweight album in some ways, it's pleasant, but nothing mind-blowing or earth-shattering, SF Sorrow, Pretty Things. This is an original stereo, German press. One of the greatest albums of the 60s, without a shadow of a doubt. I don't think anyone's going to disagree with me on that one. Try and get me leaning it the other way. Another Rock Bottom. My favourite Sabbath albums, Sabotage and this one, because it's got Killing Yourself to Live, Who Are You, Spiral Architect. This is a Uruguayan Odyssey and Oracle from 1968, an original. Weird thing to pop up over here in a record shop, but I think I paid about £20 for that. It's worth it. It's a bit crackly on a couple of tracks, but to actually hear an original pressing, most of them are red vinyl. It's the only time I've ever seen a Uruguayan black vinyl. They're always red. Fireball, Deep Purple. I mean, that's a great album for me. That's probably my favourite of that. This is a little bit incongruous, isn't it? Because these are all looking a little bit less random perhaps, although incredibly alphabetical, etc. Brunt Industries Capital, Hard for Justice. I really recommend you check this guy out. He did the Haxan witchcraft film. He did the, I believe, yeah, did the soundtrack for that. His previous album to this is one of the most intensely moving instrumental electronic records you're ever going to hear. I mean, it's just astounding. This is an electronic album, but a little bit more, slightly more groove based. But again, this is a great record. Not as good as his other one, but wonderful stuff if you don't know that. Highway 61. This is, I'm going to show it, a signed copy from the charity shop for 50p. Was it less? I don't remember. There you are. An original Bob Dylan signature from the 60s. I know there's someone who never tires and he's showing that record. Pet Sounds, an original mono. You know, yada yada. Pet Sounds, original mono. This is a fantastic record. Moon Dog and Sun Cat Suites, Kenny Graham and his Satellites. Reissued on the Johnny Trunk label. Kenny Graham, obviously great British jazz man. But, yeah, fantastic stuff. One-sided versions or jazz versions of Moondog stuff, which are kind of jazz orientated anyway, classical avant-garde. And then there's his own Sun Cat suite on the other side, done in a similar vein. That is a fantastic record. Van Halen, Fair Warning, easily their best. The intensity of that record. Oh, it's so intense, you know. There's some real kind of grit and I don't know what it is, like it holds you tight, you know. It's an amazing record. Catch Us If You Can, Dave Clark 5. Not in the best shape. I never find his records in good shape, but then they're always patchy anyway. You know, there's one or two amazing tracks on every album, but as a complete listen, yeah. But look at that cover. Wonderful. And there we are, the mini moke on the rear. Sabotage. Hole in the Sky, Symphony Universe, The Megalomania. Need I say more? This is the 71 reissue of Love's Forever Changes. Got the original over there. Stormbringer with a nice price sticker removal, which they said in the shop, yeah, that'll come off. Mind you, I've got 4 of these. I love some of the stuff on here. People kind of frown at it, but actually no, that is a great record. Spencer Davis Group's second album. A little bit worn on the back of this one. Got another one. Neither are perfect condition, but it's the sort of thing that don't always play. Again, that's sort of patchy. It's a really, really nice full sounding mono on that. But yeah, patchy record. There you are, see there's another one. Now, I'm going to move these because for once, this is a section which is all the same artist, and it's Beefheart, and we know what Beefheart looks like. I've shown these before, Toots and the Maytals years back I showed it. It's quite a rare record in superb condition that. I've never seen that again, including the 1972 festival song. Crown, Andy Nogger. That's a really good album actually. I'd like to find more of that stuff. In Such a Space, you know, blah blah. Gong's You, a couple of those. Yes, my copy of Gravy Train. And we're going to show it just for the one person who hasn't seen it before. Yeah, my signed original, owned by the original guy himself. That is quality. Although the record isn't his neck. Playable, but you know. A bit of Quo there, and Blue for You. Oops. I think what I might do is probably stop it around about here, and because time's marching on, and these can become a little bit, and maybe I'll do another video for the second part. tomorrow. Anyway, yeah, maybe I'll show one or two more. You've twisted my arm. Arthur Brown's Kingdom Come, The Lost Ears double. Great record that. All the best stuff from his albums, without a shadow. You know, all the best. And we'll finish on Sly and the Family Stone. There's a riot going on. Not an album that I particularly like. I've tried to like it, but it doesn't. Oh, you know, it just doesn't have that something for me. I don't know, maybe it's the production and the songs just don't seem to have that particular. I don't know what it is. Anyway, if you've made it this far, hats off, and I'll see you all soon. Cheers.